We are back with another episode of the Agent P Show. Your host here, Philip Salem, or as everyone calls me, Agent P. I am your NYC and LA-based real estate agent known as hashtag the Bi-Coastal Baddie. Now also with the podcast where all are welcomed. An agent in the streets with a podcast with all the deets. I know it's cheesy, just let me go with it. Thank you so much for tuning in. This episode is titled The Art and Authenticity of Social Media, and my next guest is so special to me. She is the woman behind one of the most coveted Instagram accounts, and before building a social media-infused brand, based on her point of view, which is a blend of humor, style, and female empowerment, her early fashion career began at Gucci, Michael Kors, and Elle magazine before becoming the youngest personal shopper in the history of Barney's, New York. Her pillars are circled around her life as a daring fashionista, devoted mother, and a beauty lover. She has appeared as a lifestyle expert on national morning shows and been featured in, let me just catch my breath because there's a lot of press here, The New York Times, Refinery 29, Fashionista, E, People, and Brides. She has partnered with leading global brands including Chopard, Procter & Gamble, Stuart Weitzman, Revolve, Shopbop, and Amazon Fashion. She is a giving queen, people, often working with various nonprofits in her downtime. What an honor. Her name is Lindsi Lane, and she's sitting right next to me.
Hello.
How's it going? I'm so happy to see you. I am so grateful. I literally am out of breath reading your resume right now because I remember when I met you, this is 14 years ago. I have a picture of us, actually. I want, before we start this, look at this photo of us.
Let's see.
When we first met.
Oh, my God. I'm in the pink.
You're in the pink.
Our roles are reversed right now.
Yeah.
I remember that like yesterday, actually.
Yeah, we met. You came into my clothing store, and
you look
we
good.
like instantly became friends.
We did.
You know?
It was an instant connection,
Yeah.
instant. I always tell people when I like speak of you, I just say he's just like a soulmate in my life.
That's how it is.
You're
with
a very
us.
special person to
I
me
love
too.
you, Linz. I'm so happy.
love
How
you
are
too.
you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Better than I've been in a very long time.
You have a big announcement that you just shared on social media, and I have actually that one here as well. You just announced your pregnancy.
I did. My second pregnancy.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel liberated. It was a very long journey, which I know we'll tap into in a bit. But I just feel so blessed and grateful in this moment. Also to be able to speak for, so many other women who have struggled with infertility. I feel free. I feel free to stand in my body and my truth, and I feel grateful to be here and tell a little bit of that story.
We're definitely going to get into that because I think that's one of the biggest parts right now of your social media is the vulnerability part, but we're going to get back into that. I want to start at the basics and ask you why you became, the title of this episode is called The Art and Authenticity of Social Media. Yes. Okay. So
I'm honored.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, when I think about you and I think about social media, I sometimes get down about it, and I get frustrated with the lack of authenticity. When I think about art and authenticity, I think of you. You bring the art, which is the fashion and the style and the color, and the authenticity because you are vulnerable. And I know I'm giving a Poochie pink today.
We didn't coordinate
today because I didn't want to tell any of my guests what I'm wearing.
No, thank you.
Because I want people to show up authentically how they're feeling that day. Like, for instance, some days I'm like, I'm giving black, I'm giving, a little bit moodier New York vibe. And some days I'm like, I'm giving a LA pink vibe, even if it's raining. So today you're giving a black vibe. You look gorgeous.
This is just what I pulled that like fits the bump. So
I know.
here we are.
It's hard to dress as pregnant. We're going to talk about that too. But, going back, art and authenticity of social media, why did you decide to become an influencer? And, just tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So, you did your intro, so everyone knows, my background in the fashion industry. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Well, I've been in fashion for 20 plus years, and I've been in the influencer sphere for about 8-9 years. So I've been doing this a very long time. I've seen the industry evolve numerous times. I turned 40 in September, and I started in fashion when I was 18. So.
Wow. 22 years?
Girl math carry the one. It seems very intense.
22 years.
So I just feel very grateful to have, a successful business in this industry, and now being creative every single day and just showing up as myself. is so great. So for me, it was just, I was a personal shopper and a fashion stylist for 9 years. I was always in fashion, as I said. And when this thing blogging was going on, it was always just a natural transition for me to do that. When I was signed with Ford Models as their first by appointment stylist, I decided to start a YouTube channel just to see what would happen. And I was going on a lot of television castings that I was actually getting the gigs for. So I was like, oh my God, this is like, I feel like my personality shines on camera, which I always knew. I was a natural born hustler, but also entertainer.
Always.
So it was just a natural transition, and I dipped my toes in it. And then back then it was very easy to grow on Instagram. So I saw the growth like quickly, and it was really an awesome time.
I remember you actually filmed at Owen, my clothing store where we met. I have a picture of us at Owen. Yeah. This is what, I think 10, 11 years ago. But you invited me on your show, and I'm like, I feel like it's a full circle moment right now. You're on my show.
And I remember
it was maybe like a week or two after we met. You're like, I want to film in your store and style the clothes. And I was like, absolutely, this girl is like a dynamite personality.
Thank you.
This girl is a vision. She's a beauty. She's authentic. And I remember you showing me your social media and how excited you were. This is 10, 11 years ago, probably, So it's just crazy to see you now. And she is a big deal, people. You have to follow her. We're going to get to that at the end. But I'm just so proud of you. I just want to, say that first and foremost.
I love you.
There was a picture that was supposed to show up of us. I really want to pull it up because it's so. So this is the first pic of us at Owen. We were wearing matching. I think that's LaPointe. I think Sally LaPointe jackets.
And the boy. Band of Outsiders.
Band of Outsiders. Do you still have that jacket?
I do. I do.
How many clothes do you have?
I miss Owen a lot. Whenever I have to get dressed up for an event, I always say to my mom, I'm like, don't you wish Owen was still open? I miss it.
You guys are such big supporters. Always have, always, always were, always will be, and you still are. It's just amazing.
It was the best store in the city. I mean that. I miss it genuinely. All these years later, I wish I had. There's no place like it. I miss it a lot.
Yeah. We talked about why you got into it. I just want to talk to you. One of the questions I have, what challenges do you feel you have in the industry, in the social media industry, or what types of things, it's a tough, I'm not a social media influencer. I know sometimes
you are though.
I know, but I've gone on a break. I'm on a 2-month Instagram break. I just need a cleanse, and I sometimes feel setbacks of the pressure to post.
Yes.
Or I see other people posting and I'm like, this is so inauthentic. So I just kind of wanted to hear, in general terms, the social media industry, what are some setbacks and how have you overcome them? Because there's a lot of Lindsi girls watching, and a lot of people where social media is their business and is a big part of their life. So I think this is good hearing from you, who's a big top influencer.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that, especially now that I feel like I'm able to step into my truth after feeling like a shell of myself for 2 years with carrying all this infertility and so much loss. But I think for me, aside from that, my biggest challenge was after COVID, picking up my life, like so many, to move to the suburbs much quicker than I ever thought or anticipated that I would move. We always knew we'd end up there, but not so quickly, of course. And overnight, my life changed, my brand changed, I changed as a person. What did that look like for me on social media? Will I lose my followers? Will I lose jobs? It was a struggle that I was very vocal about. And of course, I've cried on social media a million times. All of my entire community knows I'm just so emo, but I think that's part of, why I've been able to garner such a loyal community. And we'll get into that too later.
Definitely.
But I feel like for me, that was probably the biggest challenge. Who am I? I need to step into this person when I don't want to step into being this person. I wasn't ready to be this person, and owning and just accepting that I am this new person.
Yeah.
And a lot of women were saying they too moved to the suburbs. They weren't ready. And I'm this person. I used to dress like this every single day, be in hair every day, be in makeup every day, shoot 10 looks, carry around a suitcase, style looks. That was my life, meetings, showrooms, this, that, events. And now I'm home in my pajamas.
Yeah.
Like, I don't look like this every day.
She is downplaying this so
No,
much, I feel.
I'm telling
because
you.
even when you are in your PJs, like, you're allowed to be in your PJs. I think like that's another pressure that we give ourselves. Like, you're also a work. I said you're a giving queen. You're a working queen. You work. You know?
Yes,
And if that means
do.
you're working a few hours a day and you're posting for a brand and you're doing glam, great. Give yourself that credit.
Of course.
You know what
And
I'm
that
saying?
comes with the pressure. You know, it was
Yeah.
that challenge. Like, how am I supposed to be this person
Yeah.
out here? I
Yeah.
don't know how to be me here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if I will ever be able to feel like my old self, but I have gotten better at accepting this is my beautiful life. I
Yeah.
love my life. I'm
You
so
have a-
grateful
yeah.
for my health, my family, my beautiful family. And I need to pivot and step into who I am.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the biggest challenge, as I know it was for so many of my followers and moms, specifically working moms.
Yeah, and that's what you are, and I feel like you really encapsulate that feeling. Like, I just want to say something. You are you to the core. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, you are you if you are in a desert or if you're on the moon. Like, I'm going to see the same Lindsay, and I'm going to have that same feeling. I feel like sometimes it's not even about what you post or what you wear. It's about the feeling that somebody gets. And that, again, like, that goes back to the authenticity. And with that, I said, you know, one of the main reasons why your presence is so captivating is because the authenticity is to the core. Can you go into detail why you think authenticity in social media is so important?
Absolutely. I mean, I obviously can only speak for myself. The biggest compliment, one of the biggest compliments that I can ever get when I meet someone or a brand, or if I'm in a big meeting with a brand, and they say, wow, we thought you'd be completely different than you are on social media, but you are exactly the same. And I'm like, why would they think I'm going to be anything other than I am?
Yeah.
You know, but I guess it's social media. It happens. Not everyone is always showing up as their most authentic self. For me, I come from the business of fashion. I come from corporate fashion. I've learned, you know, I didn't have overnight success just being on social media. Like, I'm still fighting this good fight, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same thing for me every day. It's not like I just grew overnight. So I just have an understanding of what the bigger picture looks like, and you really have to show up as your authentic self. Your vibe attracts your tribe. If you're not putting out your most authentic self, then you're not necessarily attracting the people who might buy your products.
Yeah.
Or be your most devoted loyal followers. Not saying they're going to be bad followers, you know,
Yeah,
a bad community, but they might be different than what you would not be attracting if you were to be your most authentic self.
I have been with you because we are very good friends, and I've been with you through some of these brand partnerships that you've had. And I feel one thing that I've been so inspired is you put your hand in everything, down to the product, down to the color, down to the packaging, down to the photo shoot, down to the when it's released. Every single detail is you. So I feel when you do, which makes you a successful entrepreneur, is you breed that insecurity into everything that you do. So I think that's just so amazing. And going back to when you said people, you know, are surprised. Like, Lindsay's the same. Whenever I see you, it's always screaming. We are loud. We are hugging. We are
really
dancing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I feel
For all these years,
people,
it's like the same thing.
I know, but even I saw you at Hanky Panky Nordstrom's when you had this partnership. You say hi to every single person. You wait for every single, you know, So Lindsay girl or So Lindsay fan or person that
Yes.
follows you. You are there, and you make sure everybody feels that love. You know? So I think...
Thank you for saying that. That it is very important for me that my brand is about my community. I show face every day. I'm the face of my brand. But my brand has, like I said, it's always been about the bigger picture. It is about nurturing my community, making them feel like they are more than just a number. And that is how I want to feel in this industry.
Yeah.
So I want to give my community that same respect that I want.
I think this goes to my next question is how do you measure success? Because people measure success by, you know, I had my clothing store and we had all these influencers come in and it was all about the likes and the comments and the shares and the views. And I'm like, this is just so crazy. I even get in that. Like, I'm like,
Of course.
I put so much effort into this poster. I posted with a purpose and it didn't get that much attention, but I think everybody can relate, whether they're an influencer or not. is how do you measure success?
Such a
It's
good
a tough
and
question,
tough question.
right?
Of course, I have days where I'm like, I'm not growing because Instagram is just, it's so hard,
it's
you
tough.
know? But I know I'm 110% authentic.
Yeah.
Like I can lay my head down at night and be like, I'm doing everything right,
Yeah.
you know, in the way I want to do it. I just think it's showing up as your most authentic self and giving yourself that type of grace, right? It's, you need to know that whether you have like 50 followers or 5 million followers, as long as you are doing things like in a way that is authentic for you, while also making your community feel like they're part of something really special, should make you feel successful. If you have a loyal community, like I said, my community is my everything. Without my So Lindsi girls and So Lindsi fans, there's no me like in this space. There's no room for me in this space.
That needs to be in the Bible of social media influencing. I declare this a Lindsay Lane Bible social media day.
We'll put it on a sweatshirt. Buy our sweatshirts.
No, but it's so true. I just have a few more questions. I know that we're like running out of time.
I could sit here all day.
I know, but
Let's
like
go.
we could talk all day, and we're going to definitely do a part 2 of this. But
I
think
love that.
I was going to name this episode "The Future of Social Media" because I feel you are. I feel like you're always ahead of it. Like you started the brand partnerships. You were involved in these, big name brands before it got big, and the future is changing in social media. So, what do you think the future is? And like, are you doing your own thing, or are you, gonna follow the trends? What do you think is the best thing for you?
Absolutely. So, let's rewind many, many years. I'm not even like one of the first girls to do this in New York or anywhere, right? Like I came in a little later because I was with Barney's and then I was with Ford and I had my styling company. Like I wasn't one of the first. So even though I've been doing this a long time, it's not as long as a lot of my peers have been doing it. But I would say for me, my biggest focus now business-wise is multi-month partnerships and also capsules to go on what you were saying. Like for me, when I'm able to create and sell at that level, which I do very well, I thrive and it like gives me more than I can even tell you. I am so creative, and sometimes at home, like just being a suburban mom, I'm not able to always, or I'm not inspired to always be so creative all the time. It's just not my reality. I want to be creative all the time, but I just I'm not. It's just not who I am every day.
What brings that creativity to the surface, or how do you bring that creativity?
Working
to the surface?
with brands.
Got it.
Longer term and being able to create capsule collections like at a larger scale. I just had one with Revolve, which was my 4th, a curated collection. And you're hearing it.
Revolve is the one of the biggest websites and fashion apps in the world. So we are in influencer royalty, people.
I love Revolve.
Keep going.
No, I love my Revolve fam. I've worked with them for 4 years, like constantly. I love them for even giving me this chance to build this curated collection with them. I also want to inspire anyone who wants to become an influencer or doesn't feel like they can do this. Like, yes, I have 250,000 followers. That is a lot. But in this world, that might not be a lot. Like, it's not. Sometimes I'm like, damn, like, I don't have enough. Of course I have days like that. But it is enough because of the community that I've been able to attract because they are so loyal. They want me to tell them where to buy things, how I'm styling it. They want it at their manicured fingertips, and that's why I'm such a big converter in the space.
I feel like I follow, even on my little social media break, I tap in quickly. Lindsay's always the first one. I got to buy this. I got to buy this. I'm wearing a So Lindsay outfit today because she made me buy it.
I love it.
Because it's the authenticity that you do. We're at the end, but I always like to end with Philly's 5. There's just 5 questions, fire off questions.
Oh,
They're just, get people to know a little bit more about you.
Yes.
So, all right, we got 30 seconds. You got to just spit off the first one. Favorite singer?
I'm just going to say Mariah Carey because I know that's yours.
We love this.
And when we're together,
it's Mariah.
That's it. Yeah, there's so many. We love music. It's hard to, I'm stressed. It's hard to choose.
Best concert you've been to?
Also with you. Rihanna.
That was so fun.
My God. And then I also went to Miley Cyrus with my girls once. And that was seriously going to Rihanna with you was one of the best concerts of my life.
Ever. That was so freaking fun.
God,
Shoe or handbag?
shoe.
Okay. Favorite vacation spot?
Capri.
Only one.
Okay.
Best thing that happened to you today?
I had a really big meeting for another, you're hearing it here first, capsule
Wow, we
collection
love
that's
this.
happening. So keep your eyes and ears peeled, and then seeing you, because I haven't seen you in months, because you've
love
been in
that.
California.
I've been in LA. I'm the bi-coastal baddie.
I know you are. So no, I love, like, seriously, today's a really
Yeah,
good day. And I'm
I
back
love
in the
it.
city, and I
Yes.
feel like myself. So
love
that's a
this.
win. Yeah.
Linz, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. Before we leave, I'd love to give you some flowers courtesy of Pop-Up Florist. Pop-Up Florist is a female-owned company creating feel-good flowers with innovative designs. And to all of those tuning in, you get a discount at popupflorist.com by using the coupon code TheAgentPShow at checkout. Pop-Up Florist ships nationwide. Lindsay, I'm here to give you your flowers.
I love Pop-Up
Literally
Florist.
and
Oh my
figuratively. Look how
gosh.
gorgeous these
Oh my
flowers
gosh.
are,
Wait, Phil, these are beautiful.
right, for you.
Oh my
Lindsay,
God,
before we
thank
leave, give the
you.
people one last moment to leave with. What's your mantra? What's a word of wisdom that you can give the people in like 10 seconds?
Rejection is God's way of saying wrong direction. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, ever. Like, that can be with life, love, career, really anything. Just be in your journey, ride the wave of life, and trust the universe.
And that is verse 1 of the Lindsay Lane Influencer Bible. On that note, so continue following Lindsay's journey. Follow her on IG at Lindsay Lane Style. You're going to see it at the bottom of the screen right here. Thank you for listening, and catch you on the next episode of Agent P. Mwah. Lindsay, thank you so much for coming.
I love
Love you
you
so much.
I
Thank
love
you.
you.